OCO, hello everyone. My name is Cynthia Ruiz. My Cherokee name is Lion Mother, and my co-facilitator, Abraham Bearpaw, is with me, and his Cherokee name is Bear. So we're just going to wait 1 minute as people are jumping in. So we are just so excited that you're with us today for this live webinar. And I know people are asking questions. I'm going to try to get to some of the logistics in a minute. I know people are anxious to know about signing on and how do they get credit, but we'll cover that. Not to worry. Okay, so it is a minute after, so we are going to formally get started. So this is session number 2. We are so excited to welcome you back. And this is the Cherokee Nation Gen Z Leadership Program. And we are just so grateful for the amazing response that we've gotten. Last week, we had over 500 people participate, and we are just so grateful for that. This is being brought to you by Cherokee Nation. And as we all know, our fearless leader of Cherokee Nation is Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr., and he is elected by the Cherokee citizens. In the Cherokee Nation, there are over 370,000 Cherokee citizens. So this is a free event offered to you by Cherokee Nation. Now let me go over a few of the logistics. As we recall from last week, this will last for roughly 15 minutes. After that, you're free to go. However, Abraham and I will be around for after the 15 minutes to answer any of your questions. Now, a lot of the questions that are coming up in the Q&A is about the certificate. So a reminder, in order to qualify for the certificate, you have to attend all, or you have to participate in all 6 sessions. The sessions run every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Central Time for 15 minutes through April 15th. However, if you miss one of the sessions, you can make it up by going to the Cherokee Nation Community and Cultural Outreach YouTube page, and it will be there. However, in order for you to get credit for watching it, you do need to leave your name in the comments so we can track it. Also, there's a lot of questions coming up in the Q&A about how do we know, where do they sign in? Well, when you signed in to the webinar, we do have that information. However, if you did sign in, if you're listening to us by phone, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to email us your phone number and your name, because we don't know everybody's phone number. So again, we're going to do our best to keep track and get everybody credit. But if you are calling in from your phone today, you do need to email Abraham to let him know. And so that's Abraham-Bearpaw@cherokee.org. Just, make sure that you put your phone number and your name. So we're going to track it by your name, not your phone number. So I know there's a lot of logistics that we need to take care of, but we are committed to making sure that everybody that participates gets credit. So again, thank you for being here. And last week, we talked about leadership and teaching. Today, we're going to talk about integrity and respect. So I'm going to start off talking about integrity, and then Abraham will talk about respect. But before we get started, we're so excited, like I said, that so many of you are participating. We want to know a little bit about you. So we are going to launch a poll, and we are going to ask you how old you are. You can answer this question anonymously. We don't care, but we just kind of wanted to get some information about the demographics. So the poll is launched now. So please, everybody, take the poll. We're going to give you a few seconds to take this poll. Going to give a few more seconds. Please answer the poll. We're going to give 10 more seconds. Okay, let's go ahead and close the poll and show the results. So if you look at the results from the poll, you can see that the majority of you are ages 19 to 21. So you're right in that middle of Gen Z. So again, welcome and thank you for participating in the poll. So we are going to jump right in and start talking about integrity. So the first question that comes up is, what is integrity? Well, the way we define integrity is doing the right thing even when no one else is looking. Doing the right thing even when no one else is looking. Because let's face it, it's easier to do the right thing when other people are watching because other people can hold us accountable. But what if you're in a situation where you are by yourself and you're challenged to do the right thing? Well, integrity is doing the right thing, irregardless of the circumstances. And a great example is, we already talked about, if you miss one of our sessions, how you can go and make it up on YouTube. Well, you put your name in the comments after viewing it, but the reality is we have no way of knowing whether or not you really saw it. We're relying on you to be honest. But if you put your name and you didn't see it, that's not acting with integrity. And guess what? You're only lying to yourself. You're not lying to anybody else. So if you put your name and you didn't watch it, you're cheating, number one, and you're lying. And if you lie to yourself about small things, well, then you're probably going to lie about big things. And guess what? Those lies are going to follow you throughout your life. And that's not the Cherokee way. We believe that it's important to live in harmony and balance. And harmony and balance with yourself, with the people around you, your environment, and the world. So if you're not acting integrity, you're actually out of balance. So again, it's doing the right thing no matter what. And I'm going to share a story. A few years ago, I saw this news story about this young boy. He was walking home from school. He was walking home from school and he looked down and saw a wallet. He saw a wallet on the ground. So he picked up the wallet and opened it, looked through it, and there was hundreds of dollars worth of cash. There was credit cards, and there was a driver's license. So he picked it up and he looked at the driver's license and saw the picture of an older woman and looked at her age and realized that she was in her 70s. So he thought about it. What am I going to do? Because he had choices. He could have very easily taken the cash, put it in his pocket, and then returned it. He could have taken the cash and thrown it away, or he could have returned it intact. Well, he took the wallet, went home, and he gave it to his parents and said, "Here, I found this." And so the parents looked at it and saw all this money. And so what they did is that they all went to the police station, and the police station called the woman that it was her wallet, and she was crying. She was crying. She was so happy and overjoyed that somebody actually returned that wallet. And she says, "Thank you so much for returning my wallet. That money in my wallet is what I was going to use to pay my rent." And the little boy was so happy that he acted with integrity because he thought of his own grandmother. And he knew that his own grandmother didn't have a lot of money and had a limited income. So it made him feel good that he had acted with integrity and returned the wallet. And so as we go through life, we're going to be challenged at different times in our life about whether or not we are going to do the right thing. And our recommendation is it's the Cherokee way to act with integrity and live in harmony with your surroundings. So that brings us to this leadership lesson. The leadership lesson number 3, integrity. Do the right thing even when no one else is around. As a leader, strive to keep your integrity and do the right thing in all situations. So act with integrity. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, Abraham Bearpaw. Abraham, take it away.
Wado, Cynthia, I appreciate that. The second leadership lesson we're going to learn about today is respect. This lesson dictates that as a leader, be respectful to the people you are working with and acknowledge them for their ideas. Hold them sacred so they may flourish. So there are 3 ways to show respect: respect for self, respect for others, and respect for the environment. So the first one we're going to talk about today is respect for self. Respect for self is key to maintaining a positive self-image. So how is this accomplished? Well, self-respect is an inside job. This has to do with whether or not you live in accordance with your values. It's how you see yourself. Every day when you look in the mirror, do you have a positive self-image or a negative one? So one way to have a positive self-image is making sure every day you are living by your values, and that is hard. One way to do that is by having boundaries in your life. Throughout my life, that is something that I struggled with. I was often a people pleaser. I wanted to help out. I wanted those around me to be happy. I wanted them to like me. And often that got me into trouble because there were times where I didn't always act, in accordance with my values because I wanted to go out of my way to do something for somebody, or I wanted this group of people to like me. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes down to it, nobody is going to do these things for you. So, you're going to have to set boundaries on your own. You're going to have to make sure that you're doing these good things for yourself, because you're not going to be able to count on others to do that for you. So it does take courage and it does take practice, but I just want to let you know that it is definitely okay to have boundaries, boundaries on your time. It's okay to, turn your phone off, not return calls for a while, making sure that you're taking care of yourself, taking that time for yourself, and not always just going off, to please others. While helping others is good, just make sure that you do have those healthy boundaries, so that you can protect yourself. And then respecting your body by taking care of it. This has to do with what we put inside our bodies, the food we eat. Make sure we're maintaining our physical fitness, our mental wellness, spiritual wellness. So just really taking care of ourselves. I often, talk about, how food in my life has really changed the way I feel every day. And, it really adds to the amount of stuff that I can get done, whether or not I'm taking care of my body. And, the last thing I want to say about respect for yourself is watch how you talk to yourself. I know that everybody here is really respectful of others, but, make sure you are also, talking to yourself in a respectful way. This is something also that I've had to work on and off in my life. I'm very forgiving of others, if they make a mistake or something, but I found that, in my own life, I'm really quick to judge myself and quick to get down on myself. So, be your own cheerleader, when it comes to these things, and, just forgive yourself and give yourself permission, to be human. Everyone makes mistakes, and, say good things to yourself. I throughout the day, I try to, think about things that I'm grateful for and think about things that I've done a really good job at. It just really makes me feel good and, really reminds me, that I am a good person, that I am working really hard to live in accordance with my values. So, using that positive self-talk is a really good tool. So the second concept of respect we're going to talk about is respect for others. And this, of course, is a very important Cherokee value. We really value respect for others, showing gratitude towards others, and appreciation towards others lets people know that they're valued. I've been a part of teams before, and our supervisor just assumed that we all knew he was grateful of the job we were doing. But the fact of the matter is people aren't mind readers, and people really do love to hear that they are valued, and that their contributions mean something. So if people are doing good things in your life, don't be afraid to reach out to them and just tell them that you're grateful for what they are doing, or that you appreciate what they're doing. I know in my life, when people appreciate me and are grateful for the things I do for them, it just really helps me out, really makes me motivated. So the last concept of wellness, or respect, that we're going to talk about today is respect for the environment. As Indigenous people and Cherokee people, this one is very important also. We believe that, if, the environment's going to give us something, if we're going to harvest food or, anything like that, that we leave an offering. So if you're going to go out and maybe harvest cedar, you want to burn some cedar or sage, or, even something that you're going to eat, watercress or wild onions or anything like that, just make sure you leave something. I'll leave water, I'll pour some water out, or leave tobacco, or maybe leave, some food that, is going to be going into the mulch there. Just something, to show that, you appreciate, the gifts that you're taking from the Creator. So, like I said, respect for yourself, respect for others, and respect for the environment. Those three things together will really help you to live in accordance with your values and help you have a positive self-image. So, in conclusion, don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in. This is how you protect your spirit. Crosland Smith talks a lot about how to protect your spirit and live at one with your spirit. And, respect for yourself and others really helps you to do that. This is key to maintaining balance in our lives. So, I just want to remind everybody, I know people had a lot of questions about, the recordings. So just make sure when you do get onto YouTube, these lessons are titled Leadership Lessons. There'll be Leadership Lesson 1, Leadership Lesson 2. When you watch them, you can just drop your name right there, or you can email me. I know people were asking for my email, so I'm going to give that to you again really quick. It is Abraham, Abraham, dash Bearpaw, Bearpaw, at Cherokee.org. So, like I said, just drop me an email also if you're concerned that you weren't able to, be counted on here. I know not everybody uses their first and last name when they're signing on to Zoom. So, I hope that you join us next week. Next Wednesday, we are going to be here, and we are going to have 2 more topics to talk about. And, we just really appreciate your time, and we really appreciate the fact that you were able to join us today. So if you want to stay on, we are going to have a Q&A now, and we will answer some questions for you. So I say, Wado, Donada Goha'i, until we see each other again. Wado.
Okay, you can go ahead and pause the recording, and